Good morning everyone and welcome back to the Two-Headed Wolf Gaming channel as we're continuing our journey through Foundation, and at the end of the last episode we managed to build ourselves a manor house, the first official building of this village of ours. And now we're going to expand with tax collectors. So what do we do here? Well, we have a few more roles to this manor house building. You can create separate buildings for tax offices, or you can create yourself through the same building one of these. Tax offices will collect taxes. Treasuries will just offer you a bigger stash of a bigger space to stash your gold. You can see we have a limit of 500. So we'll build a tax office. And here is one of the cool updates that have happened recently. I believe they've done it probably 2 months ago already, in October, at the end of October, somewhere in November, I think it was October, where you take one of these buildings, and before you could only have them connected to your main building. But now, as long as it is sort of like in the area, you can place the buildings separately, which I find to be absolutely amazing and a much needed feature in order to make things a bit more interesting or to look a bit more different, give more personality. And if you're watching other people who are playing Foundation, you will see that they're trying to do all sorts of builds and they're trying to create their very own unique spin on how they build their town. So for now we're gonna build one tax collector. So I'm gonna place down this wooden hole right here for now. I am going to put a door on it, because why not? You can see that this building have spaces, and having one wooden hole, it shows you that it has a room size of 5 and it offers you access to one tax collector. Now you can change that. You can go here to this building and you can make it larger, and I'm not sure how large you have to make it for 2. Okay, so you have to pretty much double it in size. Yes, you can see at room size 11 it gives you capacity for 2 tax collectors, or you can go ahead and place another building nearby and that will be 2 tax collectors in total. You can do a whole lot of things, but be careful because these ones also have a maintenance cost, so it is a plus and a minus over there on how you want to do this. I'm gonna place this around like so. We also have a wooden tower that we can place down and a few other things, but we'll leave it at just tax collectors. And now we're gonna go into taxes. And let's go right here, taxes. We can increase the taxes. Right now we don't have any tax and people have it has no impact on happiness. But we could go up as far as we want. Now there are different areas. Like here, they don't really have a huge impact on happiness, they'll still be happy. If you go higher into the yellow, it's going to go down. It's going to have an impact on their happiness. That also means that it will have an impact on immigration. You go up here, you can see that it would go to minus 150%. And that is really bad because it means that once you reaches minus 100%, people will be unhappy. So we're just gonna go to minus 25%. I feel like I could take that at this point. It shows you also here the expected revenue per month, but it also shows you the maximum amount that is stored in houses. And there are a few more elements. I'm gonna go a bit into detail because this is something that it's not as easily understandable. Like there are some elements that you have to understand about collecting taxes. First of all, the impact on global happiness does not happen overnight. You don't get a direct penalty here in happiness of minus 25% because you are collecting taxes at this level. No, they will start step by step, one by one. Every day they will become a bit more unhappy, and until they reach a maximum of minus 25%, which means that you could go ahead and if you really need money, you can increase the taxes to 210 per month, like this at maximum, and it's gonna take them a few months until they realize that, hey, I'm starting to run out of money, and they will become unhappy because of it. So it is a way, an emergency way in which you can collect the taxes, you can gather up these taxes, and uh, have some time until they become unhappy, right? Until it impacts you a lot. But also at the same time, you can see that right now we're getting 126 per month, but you don't just directly get this. You need tax collector. This capacity right here, you can see it in every house that you are taxing. It says that the store tax right now it's at 14. This will increase by the density it has and also by the level of the house. If you Even if you tax people, if you do not have a tax collector coming around and store getting their taxes, well, it might impact you. For a while, the people will just store their cash away because they know that a tax collector will come around and they will have to pay. But if you reach a maximum of 14 and you haven't placed down a tax collector, then you are going to start to lose money in a sense, right? It's not directly, you're not gonna get a minus here, but you are not collecting more taxes as the time goes by. So you have to play this kind of game where you are trying to get everything as efficient as possible. As your city grow, you might want to have multiple tax collectors, or you might want to be building different offices in different areas to where you can start collecting those taxes. There's a lot to this game. There's a lot more. And this is one of the parts that I love about this game. I feel like every feature that they've added in during these last months or during the development since 2 years ago, it works well together. They are making it, they have this idea of how the game should look, and they are working towards that, which is very different from a game, for example, Foundation is a wonderful game, a wonderful city builder, survival city builder game, but I've seen people like they've taken a lot of ideas from other games and they've put it together and they're working in developing that, but they're also listening a lot to the feedback of the people in how they develop. Then we have a game, what was Manor Lords, which is a recent game, and they've had the alpha tests recently. You can find it on my channel as well, which is once again a wonderful looking city builder game, but I feel that they communicate a lot through Discord and they communicate a lot through Twitter, and they're taking the people's feedback very seriously in trying to change their game, taking it into a direction that the people might like. No, every in every path that you take, there is a plus and a minus, right? There's advantages and disadvantages to listening to the people. But for this game, they have taken the people's feedback. They are using to improve the game, especially in quality of life, but they are following their very own vision as far as I'm concerned. They're doing their very own thing. The they've put out there the tools necessary to mod the game, and then people can create whatever they want and can opt in whatever they want, but they're gonna create their game as they want to see it. And I find that to be impressive in a way, I guess I could say. But it's mostly impressive because whatever they have planned, it seems to be working. So we're gonna place now, we're gonna add a forester, we're gonna set a forestation area, let's say around here. Do I want, I guess I do want to expand a bit more of the forest here, because I want to place down another lumber camp somewhere in this zone. And I'll also place down a few more trees over here. Or better yet, maybe I can place them over here, where they're already working at, right? Cool. Okay, pretty much fill the entire area. let's place down first of all our new lumber camp. And I'm gonna place it over here. And I will ask you to extract, please extract the forest around here. Maybe not around the market. Let's keep some trees here. They will go away by themselves. But for the rest of them, maybe we could even leave these ones here as sort of a wall against the industry behind. Two villagers are unemployed. For that, you can see it already has an impact on our employment and on our immigration. As far as stone goes, we have a lot of it. But I will assign another miner. And we are building quite a few things right now to where I do not want to hurry into it too much. Let's see, what could we unlock? We could unlock meat farming. So farming, making a meal, and also producing bread. Fishing is not important for us. Clothing would be good as well, as we are going to be producing goods. I feel I'm going to make a stonemason's hut. The reason why is because we're going to be able to create polished stones, which means that we could export polished stone as well, right? I think that Northbury buys the polished stone. Trade routes. Yes, they do buy polished stones at a price of 3. So we're gonna make the stonemason's hut. Gonna place it down over here. Yeah, we're running out of wood. Quite a lot. The tax office has been built, which means that we can go here now and we can say that we want a tax collector. Let's check out the person who is a tax collector, and look at that. Has a knife, has its gold purse, has a necklace. Living the life. And you can see in these houses that they've already started storing some taxes. 7 out of 14 coins at this moment. And happiness from taxes has gone up to minus 22%. It's gonna go to a maximum of minus 25%. We can unlock more by paying some gold here. But now it's time to talk about estates. So estates, some of you already know them. They are in Europa Universalis as well. Let's leave the game working in the background as they are going to construct and collect some resources. Estates are different groups of people. The labor are the laborers, your common folk, the craftsmen, the workshop owners, the traders. Those are the people who are within the labor. The kingdom is the king and its army. The clergy is the church, of course, the monasteries, and all those people. And they are all part of factions. They are influential factions within this world, within the medieval world. And you will be able to appeal to to either of them or all of them in order to make some progress and unlock different types of buildings and industries and things like that, and edicts. So they've changed the way in which you appeal to the different types of factions and gave some progression to it. There's still some work to be done here to the kingdom and the labor at the final path, but the clergy already has its complete path from the last update, which is absolutely great. What do you need to know about them? They will get more reputation with you once you create buildings that have splendor dedicated to them. For example, we could unlock Manor House Splendor packages, which means that we could build ourselves some water basins, we can make some edges, we can make some of these buildings here to appeal to the labor, or we could create castles, or we could create churches and monasteries that would appeal more to either clergy or the kingdom. But the tricky thing is, once you go in one direction, for example, if we were to build like these wonderful churches and monasteries that would be impressive, the king and the labor will start to become a bit more jealous because they don't have these types of buildings in your city, so you will start losing some influence with them because of it. And that's where and that's why we're getting here to village aspirations. These are like different types of goals that you are going for. For example, have more than 100 citizens. Citizens are the highest level of citizenship within the town. At the moment, we only have serfs. And you can do this, first of all, have 100 citizens, which is a basic goal. But if you want to go for something a bit more difficult, never generate a revenue from trade routes. Doesn't mean that you can't buy goods, but you can never sell goods. So you'll have to play a game where you are mostly generating your gold through taxes. Or you can have this one. This is reaching prosperity. A famous builder, Hart, reached 500 prosperity. We are at 23 right now. And also reach a rating of 50 with every estate. Now, when I was talking about balancing things out, reaching 50 with every estate means that you've balanced yourself, your buildings, and the reputation with the other factions so well that you are good with all of the factions. The problem is, if you think about it, the main problem here is that they become jealous of each other. So if you get +1 in the monastery with the clergy, you'll get -1 with the kingdom and the laborers. And thus, it is very hard to reach 50, but you can do it. And I'll tell you how and what is going to be our goal going forward. First of all, let's take a look at labor. Once we get to notable, meaning we will have 30 prosperity, once again we're at 23, and 5 labor rating, which we get by building their different types of buildings, we will unlock a few edicts. Now, these edicts and these privileges are, for example, devoted folk privilege. This means that labor and clergy mutual splendor negative impact is reduced by 50%. So if you get a -2 from building laborers to the clergy, and we implement this edict, they would take only a -1, which is good. But there are all kinds of privileges here. For example, newcomers ignore the happiness immigration factor, which is great if you want to go for high taxes. You can get labor building upkeep reduced by 10%. That is cool too. If we go to the clergy and we reach with them rating of level 5, they also have these all faithful privileges, which means that clergy and labor mutual splendor negative impact is reduced by 50%. And that means that these two combined would mean -100% to the negative impact. That will pretty much stabilize our reputation between the clergy and the laborers. However, next we're going to go to the kingdom. The king does not care to appeal either to the clergy or the labor. He's the king, so he has no way in which he can stabilize the penalties with each other. The laborers have sort of a way to do fortified village privileges, which reduce the negative impact with the kingdom, as well as the clergy has the same type of fortress church privilege, which reduces the impact it has on the kingdom. We will have to work with this. We are going to have to cancel, first of all, the penalties that we get from labor and clergy. We're going to cancel each other out. And then we're going to go and focus towards appealing to the king. And finally, we are going to go we're going to go really impactful on the king just to raise up somehow the penalties that we're getting. I don't know if I've made myself really well understood towards the end, but I'm guessing you understand the plan. We're going for these first, and then we're going to go to the next level. For now, let's unlock I think I'm gonna unlock the market splendor first. It's either that or go in here. A tavern, we could build a tavern, we could tax windmills. I feel like the first thing that I should do is go towards the church here. So we're gonna unlock these buildings. I'm also going to unlock the labor buildings, mostly because it does cost just money. But I am going to build a clergy because I want some of these edicts to get going. And unlock the military fort, sure, but we're gonna leave it at that for now. Let's place down, first of all, our rustic church. This is the first building that matters to us. We have 27 people within our town. I am going to be placing down this church. You can see it has a desirability effect on the village. I am going to be placing it down over here. Now this building has a capacity of 45 people. You have to take this into consideration because that means that pretty soon it's going to have a maximum amount of people that is going to house and provide service to per week. You can see we can make a humble gate. It costs us no upkeep, but it also provides us with nothing. We go for a stone gate or a wooden gate. It's gonna take us planks, stone, and some tools, but it also provides us with one maintenance cost and one splendor. I want to get our splendor up to 5 to begin with in order to get some rating. So I'll be building this church with, I guess I'm gonna go with a wooden appeal. Maybe I'll do something a bit different. Let's put in front a bell. Stone bell tower. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's make a stone bell tower, why not? You can see the bigger we make it, the more splendor it has, but also the more upkeep and resources it costs. Gonna place that. If I make a wooden exit, I don't know if I necessarily want that. I feel like this works somehow. Not sure I'm really happy with that. Maybe if I do this, it would look a bit better. Or I can place things around like this. Now, later on, if we want to expand this building, we can do something like this. And that all of a sudden would have 50. Oh, or 100. How many does this? 45, so it's 90 capacity. When our village grows, we will want to expand a bit more like this, or probably make something like this happen. For now, let me go like so. And I will place a simple stone entrance. We have some crosses as well. At this moment we're at only 4 splendor. Oh, I want that cross to be straight, so let's go like this. And we will place down another one of these, just like that. It's a simple church, but I believe it's the beginning. Another cool thing about this game is that you don't have to do this. You don't have to build it. You can place down these ghost buildings, and as long as you don't click this destroy building, it's gonna stay there as a ghost. So you can wait, or you can plan out your village before having to spend the resources. I am going to be increasing the priority here. We'll use a lot of resources for this, but I am trying to get service going so we can increase our immigration. Let's assign a stonemason over here. I do need another warehouse right now. So I'll be placing down another warehouse as well, and I'll be placing it... I feel like I might just expand in this direction as well at some point. Maybe I'll place it right nearby. Like so. Cool. We have access to a monastery. Monasteries are really impressive buildings. You'll be able to assign monks and nuns to them, and they'll be working in their very own business. You can make a hospitium, basically a sort of like an inn or a hotel. People will be able to stay, and they'll visit your village, and if they like what they see and all that, they're gonna pay you some cash. Aspiration of a village. Yeah, we already done this. So skip this advice. From here on out, we are on our own. We can get a few more advice, but I don't care for the rest of them. We got some cash from him. Advice, building a monastery. We will continue on our own. We will not build a monastery just yet. And let's see, how are we doing on our taxes for right now? So if I go over here to our ledger and we take a look at taxes, we've collected most of them. So that is good. As far as our budget goes, our income is of 250, it was last month, and our expenses were 181. Can still handle a bit. As far as the business goes, let's see, where are we at with our food? We're pretty much capped overall. I am thinking about making clothes next. Is there any advantage trade-wise? You do not buy any kind of clothes. Neither do you. But we could unlock this. If we were to unlock this trade route, the only thing that would be good here is that we could sell bread. That's about it. Not sure exactly that I am happy necessarily with that. Let's see, we have a quest, Grandiose Market. The elders feel your village is almost ready to host a trading fair. However, they are uneasy to receive visitors with such a market. They would like you to improve its appearance. A few colorful tents wouldn't hurt the business. So we can do this. Build a market stall court, reach labor splendor 5 with the market. And we will do that. We will not do it right now. We're gonna wait just a tiny bit longer. Because I want to go with the church first and unlock a few elements. But for that, we also need a bit more prosperity. And I feel like we've reached the maximum potential of this site, so I would like a new territory, spend 250 gold in order to expand. I will do it over here, which allows me first of all to be placing down a few more residentials. Let's expand our residential here, right near the church, and then go around the market like so and place a few more houses. For this house, we'll remove the density. Whatever houses will be built here, I will allow them to grow in density. I just want the center to be simple houses. And a lot of houses. Apparently this house here has expanded before I had the chance to remove its density, so we get our first big house. You can see it houses 6 villages, I was right. And it has more spaces for tax. New villagers, great. How is our stone? Stone, well, we're using a lot of it, so I feel like we could go there. Add another person on this side, and there's no one who has to work in the church. Having another builder's camp wouldn't be bad either. One closer to the village where people are constructing their houses and stuff. Let's start by adding another miner over here to increase our stone collection. There's higher level stones here. And here are some of our, we can put down barrels, market benches, rope fences, or we could get ourselves some food stall signs, better market tents. Okay, you are building a house right behind the manor. They want to live near us. And for the manor house, we also have some stuff that will help us in... Apparently it's still for the laborers. The splendor there. The kingdom will take rating from building castles. And you can train soldiers. You don't have a military in the sense that you are getting attacked, but you can send military on different expeditions for the king, which will in return earn you certain rewards. There are unique buildings or building parts within this game. If you have an old save in this game, they are still compatible. Although there are some errors that could come. It's actually not errors. Because they've added the tax system, the balance of spendings and maintenance have been changed. Also, the amount of cash that you can get from your military. So it can take some work to balance out the city's economy, but you can do it. I have done a live stream in the past of Foundation where I took the old city that I built 2 years ago and I have tried to balance it out and it actually worked. I just needed a bunch of tax collectors to do it. And that was it. Okay. 2 more tools, 2 more planks, no, 4 more planks, and we are done here. But since our entrance and our main building is done, we're just needing to build the crosses. People can already attend church and get their needs fulfilled. You can see we are on low happiness because some of the people don't have houses and because they didn't have service, but now it should go up. Service shortage. Yeah, don't worry, it's gonna increase here soon. I love this game so much for its relaxing nature, for everything that it's doing. Let's set up an extraction point over here. You see that they've really expanded. One forester covered a lot of this area. Let's add 2 woodcutters here, just to increase our immigration factor. Happiness is now at average, employment is high, and residential space is high. I feel like I should go and remove selling over 100 berries. Let's sell over 150. Three new migrants. Great. Just what I like to see. We'll add another woodcutter there. We'll add another miner here. 4 churches and some of the fountains. You can hear it has a ring. You can change this. You can change how often you hear it. We'll leave this, we'll leave it as weekly bells type light and tempo. There are some fountains where you can create like melodies, and that is really cool. Advice: earning influence. The work your folk put into the church is paying off. A notorious priest from Northbury heard of your newly founded monument and would like to perform masses in your village if you wish so. Being fair to such people would certainly improve your standing amongst the clergy. We can pay in order to get some coins there, some influence, or we could supply the priest and improve your standing with the clergy by paying with berries. And let's do that. In order to pay for these, you need to have these goods in storages. If you don't have it in storages, you will not be able to pay for it. Good. You can see over here that with the clergy, we've increased our splendor and also our rating, meaning that now we're going to get influence up to 10 in time. So pretty soon we'll be able to unlock this as soon as we get some of the coins to spend. But with the others, we are now at -3 rating because of their jealousy. So we're gonna have to work towards improving our relations. Because we've built a church, wards of your village's first church have reached the clergy. They appreciate your dedication to the faith and thus hold you in high regards, which will give us a few coins, which means that we have 20 influence here to be spending on what we want. And I am going to start by getting the Old Faithful privilege here. This is the first thing that we have to do. We're gonna go into privileges. We're gonna change them to what? Trade prices for bonus for villages with clergy allegiance. Yeah, getting more prices from Needle. They are allied with the clergy. But we do not care for that. We care about reducing the penalty here. And once we do it, you can see it went down to -2. Of course, it rounds up to the next level, but that is going to have to be it for today. We're gonna continue from here on out, and tomorrow we're going to be expanding our village with a few more beautification for the laborers, trying to stabilize our reputation between laborers and clergy, and then see how we can progress from here on out. With that in mind, I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day.